Okay, this is it. This is the final boss of Sonic Unleashed. And... oh, good lord. Whew. That is pretty gruesome. And that, specifically, is one of the main reasons why this game was rated E10. And the third game in the series to be rated E10. The two previous ones were Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06, which is slightly worrying that they're related, but bloody hell, that got gruesome. Music is cutscene, the final form.
Let's do it.
Indeed. It's time for our awesome supersonic boss fight, although technically it's not really a boss fight. But oh god, this music. Supersonic versus Perfect Dark Gaia, just oh wow. I do love an orchestral version of the theme song. Just works wonderfully. Though it's slightly annoying that this isn't actually an orchestra, even though they did have the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra do some songs for this. I don't quite get why they didn't do it for the final boss, but there we go. Basically what you've got to do is you've got to pick up rings as you travel towards the shield. It's a bit like Doomsday Zone in Sonic and Knuckles. Also, Perfect Dark Gaia is one of only 2 characters so far that has Perfect in the name, the other being Perfect Chaos. Now, I am in love with this boss theme. It's definitely one of my favourite boss themes of all time. Just, I love endless possibilities, and hearing it here is just wonderful. So we've got to take down some snake tentacles by ramming into them. The very definition of boost to win. Now Sonic's a little bit finicky to control here, but it reminds me a lot of Knights, really. I mean, even because power loops, you're doing power loops. It's quite awesome. So this is pretty much the extent of the boss fight. You're under a time limit because the Gaia Colossus's health bar is that time limit. If that runs out, then you have to start the fight all over again. Thankfully, if you're quick enough, then you won't have to worry about that at all. Although, do avoid the asteroids. They're not good for your health. Now, one of the things that I think a lot of people have noticed is that, well, the Wii PS2 version and the 360 version of the boss fight are totally different. But what would be quite awesome is if the two were combined into a single fight, because the Wii PS2 version sees you attacking the eyes, whereas this one's just attacking the shield and then this wonderful thing. Yes, they ended on a QuickTime event, but I don't care, this QuickTime event is glorious. So if you combined the two fights, you would have a really amazing final boss fight, but as it is, it's kind of a bit separate. And get ready for it. What is perhaps one of the most ridiculous things to get you to do for a QuickTime event is coming up very shortly. "60 times. Oh yeah." I have to say, that is a lot of button presses, and I feel sorry for my X button, because it was literally just like... just attack it with all your might.
Leave it to me.
And then, let's do this. Because at this point it'd be quite cool if it went into the Wii version, but I'm okay with this. Because it's just awesome either way. He just went through his eye. That is painful. Music here is cutscene Annihilation. And once again, the green blood. Oh, God. So, we've beaten Sonic Unleashed. Oh, poor Sonic. Music here, I believe, is Rekindled Light. Save the speech. At least I think it is. I think it's a piece that continues throughout the cutscenes. Actually, no. Tell a lie. This is definitely Rekindled Light, Save the Speech. A wonderful little rendition of the world adventure. Do wish we didn't have all the loading screens in the middle though. And also, not particular fan of this sequence, if largely because it makes Eggman into a comic relief villain, which is really what he doesn't need to be. Oh, ergo. I mean, this cutscene really summarises why Eggman is better in Sonic Colors, because it's all but on Cubot that the comic relief, and Eggman is a decent villain who's quite funny in being a villain. Whereas there, you just take the mickey out of him, which isn't as cool. Still.
The light reigns over darkness, and the world is returned to peace. It's simply a miracle. We've been saved by a miracle.
I told you, didn't I? There was no way Sonic would let something like that happen.
And right you were. Still, we cannot live without the night. We all must sleep. We all must rest. Darkness is a part of our world, just the same as light. It may be that the darkness has not been destroyed, but merely laid to rest. It grows strong over the eons, rises up, then is put to slumber by the light. Perhaps that is the true balance of dark and light Gaia. That balance may be the very will of the planet itself.
Save the speech for later. We've got to get things ready for Sonic's coming home party!
And the music for this cutscene here is Cutscene to the Surface.
Sonic. Sonic, you must live.
Subtitle typo. Naughty, naughty, naughty Sega. So close. So close. But that still doesn't stop this from being a really lovely cutscene. And really sad as well. Oh, it's such a bittersweet ending, it really is. And I really do love this book ending. If you bookend anything, which is where you start, you end in the same place where you started, you're always fine in my book. I like that in games, and in films, and in books. It's just a nice tying together of everything, really. And it's another of the reasons that I love Sonic Unleashed story so much.
Huh?
Music here is cutscene, always.
I'll never forget you. I'll be here by you, always. A part of the earth you tread.
And that, my friends, is the end of Sonic Unleashed.
Hey, Sonic!
So, as we listen to the wonderful, wonderful Endless Possibilities by Jarrett Reddick of Bowling for Soup, I'm going to begin my summary of what I think of Sonic Unleashed. I have to say, I do love this game, and coming back to it after so long has reminded me how much I love it. It's a really fun game, and it really annoys me how much flack it gets. I mean, it certainly has its problems, don't get me wrong. As I've said many times before, Sonic's really loose in control, and whoever decided to change where how the homing attack works by, instead of doing it AA, it's AX, that was a really silly idea that doesn't work that well. And admittedly, some of the level design is not brilliant. There aren't many alternate paths to take. But considering this was the first time with a new engine and a new gameplay style, I think they did really well. And even though a lot of people don't like the Werehog, he's not as bad as people suggest. I mean, yes, he's definitely very, very combat heavy, but I'd argue that people wouldn't be as bothered about the Werehog if it was like Knuckles. People probably would have accepted him more, which is kind of sad that that's the case. But in general, I think Sonic Unleashed is a great package, because, I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. And even though Colours and Generations also look fantastic, I think Unleashed has a better kind of coherency in its visuals, because, I mean, Colours isn't helped by its standard definitionness, and Generations is... I get it overly coloured is the best way I can put it, in that the colours are stupidly bright, and I think I do prefer kind of how the colours worked in Unleashed. It just blended together a bit better, and it just made it look nicer, rather than super duper overly cartoony that it appeared in Generations. And also, I just love having the pictures in the credits. It ties together the adventure again, and you get to see pictures that Chip's taken over the journey, and it's really awesome. You can probably tell I'm just gushing over Sonic Unleashed, which is really odd because I don't think a lot of people do that. that I will make note that I'm generally incredibly generous and forgiving of most games. I guess sort of I'm a sucker for a good story, and if you give me a good story that's quite sweet, then I will forgive quite a lot of problems. And that's just the way it works. The music right now is Dear My Friend, which is performed by singer-songwriter Brent Cash. And I think it's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful song. And so, I think I shall let you listen to this wonderful track before I say my goodbyes, so enjoy Dear My Friend.
I can see you, I can hear you in my heart. You will be here if I need you. I will never have to guess, 'cause we are very special friends. So send me a letter, let me know how you're doing. You are my lifetime and true friend. Will never be forgotten. Having trust is all we may need. You are always with me in the life I lead. So far, far away from life I used to know. Worries are too far to. I will stop and close my eyes. Remember, end of the rainbow. I can take you. I will catch it for you. Memories you can recall with me any time of day. You can reach out, you can ask me in your soul. I will answer when you call me. I will come no matter how, 'cause we are very special friends. Just like a river that flows, just like stars in the dark night. Lead me in the storm, lead me in the dark. You are the light of my life. I will be there if you need me, and I know special friends.
I hope you all enjoyed Dear My Friend, and as the wonderful Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra plays off with the World Adventure orchestral theme, I hope that you have all really enjoyed the Sonic Unleashed playthrough, because I know I have. It's been wonderful returning to this game after so long. And I hope you all join me in the extras when we tackle all of the extra acts for the game, and maybe do a few little other things as well. And I hope you will join me in the next playthrough and walkthrough, which I'll be beginning very shortly. So, I hope you have all enjoyed watching, and I will see you all very, very soon. See you next time.